This is celebrated every year on November 26th to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution of India. So, in this day, this school's language club has decided to conduct a debate competition. For this, we have invited Dr. Prasant Joshi. या वीणावर दंड मंडित करा, या श्वेत पद्मासना, या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकरा प्रभृतवे देवै सदा निहसेस जाड्यापहाम, निहसेस जाड्यापहाम. And the topic of the debate is UCC, Uniform Civil Code. The proposal and directive for UCC is placed in the Constitution of India in its directive principles. After selecting this topic, I found that the more we try to explore about this topic, the more brief intro of our chief guest, Dr. Prasant Joshi. He is a professor of history, HNB College, Khatima, and his native place is Champawat. He got his higher education from Allahabad. The Team Alliance leader is Devin Chand and Team Diversity's leader is Ankit Upreti. So I would like to pass this mic over to the contestant. So first I will give the mic to Team Alliance and one contestant from the team, that is Devendra Chand.
A very warm and energetic good morning to respected chairman sir, manager sir, principal sir, special guest and respected jury. I Devendra, a student of class 12 with my teammates will today favor the Uniform Civil Code. Me and my teammates strongly believe that Uniform Civil Code should be implemented in India as soon as possible. Because when we talk of India as a secular nation, when we talk of India as a nation which doesn't discriminate on basis like caste, gender and religion, then why should there be discrimination when it comes to the civil laws? In present condition, each religion is having their own personal law. Like Muslims are having their Islamic law Shariat, whereas Hindus, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist are having their Hindu code bill. And so on, communities like Christian, Parsis, Jewish do have their own personal law. Now the problem with these communities having their own personal law is that there are several shortcomings in the system of these personal law. Whether it is woman discrimination in Islamic law, where a woman is not even allowed maintenance after getting divorced to her husband. And men are bound with special rights like of polygamy. Until 2019, they do have right of unilateral divorce. Similar to this, there are several flaws in the adoption and succession laws of communities like Jews and Parsis. I strongly believe that Uniform Civil Code will be a common solution to all these problems. The second important advantage of having a Uniform Civil Code is the maintenance of law and order in the country. In the present condition, each religion has their own law. So judicial burden also get increased because judiciary also has to refer several things for each community differently. But with the implementation of Uniform Civil Code, each religion will be referred under a same law and the process will become quite smoother. At last I will say that a law is made for the people and is made considering the state of society. With time, when the society gets evolved, it is necessary for us to change and reform these laws. I strongly believe that Uniform Civil Code will bring that important reformation in the civil system of India. So I strongly support its adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for sharing your valuable information and views. So before calling the next participant, I would like to request the judges, please select the best orator also. The student who has spoken very good and expressed his ideas very well, I would like to request judges, please consider that student as a best orator. So to proceed our program, now I would like to call the next participant from team Diversity, Ankit Upreti.
शैले शैले न माणिक्यम मौक्तिकम न गजे गजे साधवो नहीं सर्वत्रम चंदनम न बने बने. Respected chairman sir, respected manager sir, respected principal sir, coordinator ma'am, and respected jury member, and all the respected teachers. I am Ankit Upreti from class 12, and it's a great privilege for me to stand here in front of you for debate competition. I am here to represent my team, Diversity. After a lot of research in this topic, I was forced to speak against the topic. And now, looking at the complexity of topic, I have divided my topic in two parts. The first one is intro, that is introduction of the topic, what is UCC, and the second one is the cons of UCC, means the disadvantages of UCC. So, first of all, what is UCC? UCC means Uniform Civil Code. In Hindi, it is known as Saman Nagrik Sanhita. It is a common code for all. After its implementation, there will be only single law that will govern all the religion, regardless of their caste, gender, and sexual orientations. So now, it comes under Article 44 of Indian Constitution, which contain DPSPs, means Directive Principles of State Policies, which cannot be enforced in court and can only judged in Parliament. And so, after this, I would like to tell you the disadvantages of UCC. So, the first and most one disadvantage is that after implementation of UCC, the diversity of India will get splitted. And the second is that according to Indian Constitution, Parliament or the law cannot interfere in state's personal matter, and UCC comes under the state list of Indian government. So, implementation of UCC will the violation of Constitution. And the next one, that implementation of this law will just like implementation of Hindu Code, which was enacted in 1955, according to which there were several Hindu law which was to be followed by various communities. And then it is an overarching law which will be opposed by most of the communities and will neither be uniform nor be legal on the gender basis. And the next is Constitution guarantees minorities to follow their own culture and practice their own religious beliefs. But after its implementation, that's all will be that's Constitution. That the way the Constitution providing this will be get vanished. So at last, I would like to thank you everyone for listening me carefully. For the further information, there will be my teammates. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. So now here are our next participant from Team Alliance, and I would like to call Tanuja from Team Alliance. Please, Tanuja, share your views.
नियम संहिता एक समान हो, क्षमता का सबको गुमान हो, हर मजहब का मान रहे पर पहला मजहब संविधान हो. With these lines, a very pleasant morning to all, respected juries, chief guest, chairman sir, principal sir, manager sir, coordinator ma'am, and all my dear audience. Now, I, Tanuja of class 12 Commerce, standing here to deliver my views in the motion of Uniform Civil Code on behalf of my team Alliance. The Article 44 of the Directive Principal State Policy state that it is the duty of the state to secure Uniform Civil Code for citizens throughout the nation. One country, one law is the another name for it. Now the problem exists in the fact is that there are differences within the personal law. There is no uniformity, and in some instances it is found that personal law has denied the rights uniform civil code can be enacted. Now I would like to tell you the hypothesis. A uniform civil code can be implemented in India because it is very beneficial for all the people living in this nation, as it is not violating the right to profess one's religion. The people in India need to understand that the concept of religion is different because the Constitution of India allows people to follow their religion, and it will continue even after enforcement of Uniform Civil Code. As Uniform Civil Code is not going to take anyone's right to profess their religion, and it is high time and people in India need to start viewing law and religion as different concepts. If Uniform Civil Code will be implemented in India, then there will be equal empowerment for all the sections of society, and it is also not violating the secular nature of the Constitution. Hence, we can say that the hypothesis taken is proved to be correct because Uniform Civil Code is the urgent need of the hour. Now, I would like to conclude it with some lines. Listen carefully. अगर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड देश के लिए नहीं है तो स्वतंत्रता, लोकतंत्र, न्याय और धर्मनिरपेक्षता। अगर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड देश के लिए नहीं है तो स्वतंत्रता, लोकतंत्र, न्याय और धर्मनिरपेक्षता भी देश हित में नहीं हो सकती। Hence, I want to say that I support the motion wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanuja, for expressing your views in such a wonderful manner. So now here is the next speaker from Team Diversity, Janvi Rana.
When it comes on the flavors, we cannot add all the spices in one recipe. Same goes for the boundless diversity of India, which cannot be directed by one country, one rule. With all my greetings to the respected jury and the audience, respected chairman sir, chief guest, jury, principal sir and teachers. I am Janvi Rana, present here to speak against the motion of UCC. UCC stands for the Uniform Civil Code. Under the Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy, UCC provides one law for the entire country applicable to all the religious communities in their personal matters like marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption, etc. In other words, we can say one country, one rule. Overall, I disagree with this view, as a country cannot be ruled over by a single magic wand. Let me interpret this with an example. Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia and Iraq are well known for their one community, which is Muslim community. The implementation of UCC over there is a lot trouble-free than the implementation of UCC in the India, with n numbers of communities living together. And then one of the prevailing fears that is associated with the UCC is that its implementation is a conspiracy aimed at setting aside the views of the minority communities and mandatorily imposing Hindu personal laws to the citizens of the nation. About the questionnaire taken by the Law Commission, there has been clear and evident rejection by the Muslim community as the All Indian Muslim Personal Law Board completely disregarded the Law Commission's questionnaire on the UCC and decided to boycott it. All India Muslim Personal Law Board's General Secretary Mr. Maulana Wali Rahmani said that Uniform Civil Code is divisive and will lead to social unrest, and that it is against the spirit of the Constitution, which safeguards the right of citizens to practice their culture and religion. At last, there are practical difficulties due to the vast diversity of India, and I strongly oppose the UCC. I'll conclude my speech with a quote by Shashi Tharoor that Western dictionaries define secularism as absence of religion, but Indian secularism does not mean irreligiousness. It means profusion of religion. Thank you.
Thank you, Janvi. So now here is the next participant from Team Alliance, Nitin Singh.
Respected Chairman Sir, Chief Guest, Jury and Coordinator Ma'am. I am Nitin Singh of class 12, standing in favor of Uniform Civil Code. So basically, as we know that before creating a perception regarding anything, there is a must need of knowing the aim of anything. So similarly, this concept can be applied in Uniform Civil Code. Basically, what happens that when the Uniform Civil Code came into word in since the last few years, basically majorly, mark my words, majorly Muslim personal laws as well as some Muslim leaders all
हमारी संस्कृति और सभ्यता ही है हमारी पहचान, संस्कृत से संस्कृति और हिंदी से हिंदुस्तान. So with this, a very warm and pleasant good morning to you all, especially to respected chairman sir, chief guest, jury, principal sir, teachers and all my dear friends. First of all, we will discuss what is UCC. UCC means that all the sections of society shall be treated equally on the basis irrespective of their religion, which shall be applicable to all uniformly. So this area covers areas like marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption, maintenance, etc. So without beating around the bush, let's come to the point. India, a country with diverse languages and culture and tradition. Expecting people of religion, expecting people with a very diverse culture and tradition will be acting a law same for all the religion will not, it will be ridiculous. If I talk about India, so Goa is the only state that has a uniform civil code so far. But uniform means uniformity, right? For all despite being of any religion, caste, race and age. Whereas in Goa, some laws creates a difference between uniform civil code and common civil code. In Goa, Hindu men have the right to do bigamy. That means a person can marry someone while already married to a person. So, but for other community, this is prohibited to do polygamy. So clearly it is not valid to be a part of uniform civil code. In conclusion, Goa being a small state with 1.59 million population has a common civil code and not a uniform civil code. Due to some religion exceptions based on the religion, so do you think India with having a population of 139 million population will be as easy as having a cup of tea? For India, bringing uniformity has a very long way to travel. I conclude this topic and I strongly oppose the motion because the government, and I conclude that the government must respect the emotions of minority population and the matter is being sensitive in nature. So I think it should be always better if the initiative comes from religious group concerned. That's all from my part. Now I would like to thank all the teachers who supported me and given me this opportunity to speak in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka, for your precious views. Now, the next participant is from Team Alliance, Amrita Saud.
All communal disputes will be end when uniform civil code will become grand. Good morning to respected chairman sir, chief guest, principal sir, jury and all teachers. Good morning to everyone. This is Amrita from class 12th Humanity and today I stand over here to present my views in the motion of today's debate topic, the Uniform Civil Code. Uniform Civil Code calls for the formulation of one law for the India and it is applicable to all the religious communities and caste. This law is also mentioned in one of our Article 44 which lays down that the state shall endeavor a uniform civil code for the entire country. In my opinion, this law should be implemented as there is a high need to bring uniformity in personal law aspects. The reason why I support this code are, first of all, it will create a sense of unity among people as there will be a same law for the entire citizens of the country. Secondly, India claims to be a secular country, still it has different laws for different communities. But there are many non-democratic and non-democratic and not secular country who have uniform civil code, then why not India? Thirdly, it will also end the discrimination that is faced by women, especially Muslim women. And next, there is our civil law system is also very complicated because there are different laws for different communities and caste. And in the modern world, when there are the cases of inter-caste and inter-religious marriages, it will create hurdle and complexities for judiciary to solve these type of problems. So according to me, uniform civil code is the best solution for these type of problems. And our one of the greatest personality, our constitutional maker B.R. Ambedkar also wanted to implement this law, but due to many reasons he was not able to do so at that time. But I think this is the right time to implement the uniform civil code. It better late than never. Thank you.
Thank you, Amrita. So now the next participant is Roshan Yadav from Team Diversity.
The beauty of India lies in diversity of its people. With this, respected chairman sir, chief guest, jury members, principal sir, teachers and all my brother and sister, good morning to one and all present here. Today I am Roshan Yadav of class 12th humanity present here to present my view against uniform civil code. So firstly let me tell you what is uniform civil code. Uniform civil code simply means one law for all religious and tribal communities in their personal matters such as marriage, inheritance and adoptions, etc. It is mentioned in directive principle of state policy in Indian Constitution under Article 44. It is not enforceable by any court. I strongly oppose uniform civil code because implementation of uniform civil code will violate the fundamental rights of Indian citizens, which is provided in Part 3 of Indian Constitution. For example, Article 25 which gives freedom of religion to all the citizens, and Article 26 gives every religious group the right to manage its own affairs. Secondly, but when the principle of uniform civil code is against the religious and customary practices of tribal communities in northeastern states, which is fully protected under Article 371 in Indian Constitution. But implementation of uniform civil code will take away the tribal and cultural practices of peoples in northeastern states. At last, India is a land of vast cultural and diversity, which is where various tribal communities follow their own laws and family laws practices, where various tribal and are follow their own customs and religious practices which differ from place to place and tribal to tribal. But in introduction of uniform civil code will create the situation of hostility and communal disharmony between the people. At last, I conclude this speech with the quote that we are all different, which is great, because we are all unique. Without diversity, life would become boring. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan. Please have a huge round of applause for our participants. Thank you. So now the next participant is from Team Alliance, Ravi Yadav.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. With this quotation, I, Ravi Yadav, would like to express my heartfelt greetings towards respected principal sir, respected chief guest, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today I am standing here to speak in favor of Uniform Civil Code. Basically, Uniform Civil Code is a set of common laws which would be equally applicable to all the peoples irrespective of their religion, caste and gender. Uniform Civil Code includes family matters such as marriage, divorce, adoption, maintenance, succession and inheritance. Now I would like to tell you that why I strongly feel that Uniform Civil Code should be implemented in India. First, the need of uniform civil code has been felt because India as a democratic country has suffered a lot due to variegated personal laws of different communities. For example, for Hindus there is Hindu Code Bill and for Muslims there is Muslim Personal Law. Secondly, it will provide gender equality because most personal laws of most communities are discriminatory towards women. So I think it will also promote gender equality. Thirdly, it will create an egalitarian society where all Indians will be treated in the same manner. Fourthly, it will reduce the burden of judiciary because judiciary has suffered a lot due to the variegated personal laws. As a result, there are about 4.7 crore. Mark my words, there are about 4.7 crore pending cases at all levels of judiciary. Fifthly, it will promote real secularism because it will not restrict any person to follow their religion, but it will set a platform where we all will be treated in the same manner. At last, I would like to say that every new thing faces opposition. For this, there is a saying that first they will oppose you, then they will criticize you, then they will appreciate you, and after that they will set you as an example. So with this, I would like to end my speech, and due to these reasons, I strongly feel that uniform civil code should be implemented in India. And at last, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Ravi. So now the next participant from Team Diversity is Dipesh Bist.
Our practices shouldn't decide our rights, but they do in India because India means diversity, and diversity is the pride that our country is using as a source of immeasurable pride on international platforms and from decades. But what should an individual do if an government officials come to him and says this and that about his practices and religions? Barring things about things like this ritual of yours is not legal anymore under this law. With this question today, I wish a morning to everyone present here today. So the question I asked about earlier was not a joke. There is an Article 44, Chapter 4 of our Constitution that has been revived by the ruling political party, Bharatiya Janata Party. I know it's important for our country to set according to the modern times, but we all know that currently the condition of the relationship between our government and religious communities is not stable. We all know that there are currently many cases running related to love jihad, hijab, and triple talaqs, etc. There are many other cases too that I can't say right now. These three examples are also as there's no trust between government and community. First, government has to build trust between these communities. Then they should take such a big step like UCC. This will only cause distrust between government and our religious communities. Thank you. With these words, I end my speech.
Thank you, Dipesh. So now, the last but not the least participant from Team Alliance, Angel.
Without a uniform civil code labeling India be a circular nation is just like an illusion. A precious morning to respected chairman sir, chief guest, juries, principal sir, teachers. This is Angel. On behalf of Alliance team, today I stand over here to present my views on a favor of Uniform Civil Code. Uniform Civil Code is a proposal in India to implement and formulate the personal law of citizens which apply on all the citizens of India equally regardless of their caste, religion, gender. The aim of UCC is to provide protections vulnerable sections as emphasized by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, including women's, religious minorities, and it will also promote the nationalistic favor through unity. UCC is also help in improving the conditions of women in India. Under UCC, every Indian should be treated as same. In India, there are many cases
like women suffers from non-uniformities, like there are many cases, triple talaq, where Shah Banu was suffered the most, and at the last, राष्ट्रस्य नारी अस्ति, नारी राष्ट्रस्य सम्मान अस्ति. जिस देश में नारी के सम्मान के लिए एक युद्ध छिड़ गया, जिस नारी के लिए हम यहाँ हर देवी की पूजा करते हैं, उसी देश में नारी को सम्मान नहीं दिया जाता है, उनको बोलने का हक नहीं दिया जाता है. तो I strongly oppose that the opposition team. Thank you so much. That's all from my part. Thank you.
With this, we have completed the first round, and I hope our judges are well aware about the second round. And the second round is for question hour round. And let me tell you one thing, that we have 11 special audience in the form of the participant of this program, and they will have their feedbacks after they will get a little time to express themselves, and among them we will select a best orator from that. So, should we start the second round, judges? It's a question and round. Within 2 minutes, both the team members have to conclude the program. So, first, I would like to give the chance to Team Alliance. They may select their question, and to whom they are questioning, they may speak. And this is up to the team leader.
I have a question for Priyanka. As you mentioned that in Goa, polygamy is allowed for Hindus. So, in Muslim communities also polygamy is allowed. So why don't you focus on that? Goa is a small part of India, whereas Muslims are very much populated in our country.
I said that Hindu are allowed there to do bigamy. I did not said that there is polygamy for Hindu, and Muslims are prohibited for doing polygamy. I did not said whatever you said here right now.
I am saying that you mentioned polygamy in Goa, but I am asking you, what about the polygamy which is very prevalent in the Muslim community of India?
Because there is UCC.
That is what we are saying now. When there would be UCC, these all social levels will eliminate from the society.
But UCC is not completely there, na? There are some exception based on the religion.
It will get complete when people will allow to start its draft. When you will always debate about it shouldn't come, then there would be no time when it would be drafted.
But how can you judge if I think I would like to pass it.
As you are saying that Muslim communities follows polygamy, and in a Goa it is followed bigamy. But you know that in a Goa there is a uniform civil code. We know that.
But that is not Indian civil code. That is Portuguese civil code. We are talking about uniform civil code, which would be drafted in India only and by the Indian people.
Is Goa in the state of the India?
It is the part of India, but the rules that are there were not made by the Indian people. But they were made by the Portuguese people, and when they left, it was adopted same.
See, when the government was formulated that common civil code.
Thank you. It's a good discussion, and we are able to learn a lot through this. Now the next question from Team Diversity.
I have a question for Aditya. I hope you will fail to answer that.
Yes, of course.
So, you said that the countries like Iran, Jordan, Tunisia, Egypt, there is UCC. And you said that these all are Islamic countries, right?
Yes.
So, according to say that Iran, Jordan, Tunisia, Egypt are Islamic country. There is only one religion. But in India,
There is not any one religion. The majority is a one religion.
majority is of one religion. But in India, what will you say about that? There are many religions like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christians, and other also. So what will you say on that?
Please repeat your question.
I said that. And India has too many cultures like tribal cultures, Nagaland communities culture, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christian, and Jainism, Buddhism. So why are you saying that there is uniform civil code in Iran? So uniform civil code should also be applied on India because there is only one religion majority.
Yes, I think the answer of your question is given by Amrita. Is very perfect answer.
Okay, I said no. You will not able to answer.
As you said, in Islamic, we should see that in Islamic countries there can be reform, then why not in India? Because the main problem is when we are talking about UCC, then it will remove the problems of polygamy, triple talaq, which are banned in the other Muslim countries. Then why they are in prevalence in India? We are saying that.
It's over. Now the second question from Team Alliance.
No talking, guys.
So my question to your team is, as we all may have read or heard that everyone is equal before the law, then why a person need to be categorized as Hindu, Muslim, Christian and so on when it comes to civil matters? Why we cannot have a uniform law that treat all citizens equally instead of categorizing them on the basis of their religion before providing justice?
See, India is a country of many religions, right? And in the India, every religion have their own right, as mentioned in Article 25 and 26. And if the government are interfering with their religion rights, so if the government are interfering their religion rights, there will be a depletion of this article.
There will not be any depletion in these articles because a section of Article 25 mentions that state interfere in positive manners. Means in India there is a concept of positive secularism, which is different from the secularism of other Western countries.
So you are also saying that in a tribal peoples there is a positive impact. Like in a tribal peoples, they are neglecting their
Tribal. The constitution provides exception to tribal people. Mean state cannot interfere in the tribal matters till they permit us, because the Article 371 of Indian Constitution says that we cannot interfere in the tribal matters. It is a constitutional matter. We cannot interfere until they agree with our terms.
Let me
and if uniform civil code is good, they will adopt it.
Let me give you a stat which is published in an NDTV article in which they said that the women of the Nagaland saving the women of the Assam saving their hands, and they want that the significant government should
Okay, thank you. Now question from Team Diversity. Let the question finish. Just give the time to answer to the opponent. Don't speak again and again the same question.
If UCC is so much beneficial for the country, why it is inserted in DPSP and not in a fundamental rights? I would like to ask the question to your team. If UCC is so beneficial for the country, why it is inserted in DPSP and not in a fundamental rights?
As you mentioned that Article 44 is mentioned in DPSP. Why not in the Indian Constitution? So during the time of independence, there were several uncertainties. Several Muslim communities have migrated to India, and government don't wanted to make anybody feel that something against their religion is going to happen. So that is why, as a precautionary step, they mentioned it in the directive principles. But it doesn't mean that they don't wanted to introduce it, as Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar also supported its implementation.
How do you say that today world that the government are so ready to apply this UCC in every state?
Look, we are here discussing about UCC. It's not about UCC is bad or wrong. It is about the reforms in personal law. Nobody of you has said a single line that personal laws need to be reformed. You all are just saying about UCC is bad. But what about the personal laws? This is the discussion because we need to reform personal laws. So don't you believe that personal laws need to be reformed in India? Just talking about how bad UCC is?
Yeah.
Is there need of more discussion about UCC or need of talking about the reforms in personal laws?
But according to you, by applying the UCC, there will be a common law for all, either it is from any religion.
Yes, let me tell you that you all mentioned that religious practices would be affected. I don't believe that religious practices would be affected. Law would be made in cases of some disputes, but religious practices would be allowed to people. People will follow their customs and traditions, but only that segment of society which is a social level to the people will eliminate after the implementation of UCC. It is not saying that all the religious practices will deplete after its implementation.
What a great discussion. Very good. Now Team Alliance, your turn.
I have a question for your team. As you all said that Article 25 will interfere in religious matters and it will not good for religion. Then what about Article 14, 15 and 21 which are being violated due to the personal laws? Means if Article 25 will be violated when UCC will be implemented, then what about Article 14, 15 and 21 which are already being violated due to the personal laws?
Do you have the answers?
Can you?
Yes, Article 14 is right to equality. And if we are talking about personal laws, then Muslim have different laws. Will it means they include polygamy? Then it is not discriminatory for others. Means it is bad, but it is a discrimination. Secondly, Article 15, which is about no discrimination on the basis of religion. Then why we are discriminating on the basis of religion? That there would be different laws. And Article 21 is about right to life. Means due to the absence of UCC, there is the discrimination for women, means their right to life is violated.
As you said that the Uniform Civil Code is for the uniformity in the all over the India or nation, then why the Goa Civil Code is not uniform enough to be implemented? Because bigamy and polygamy, whatever you were talking about, as my team member said that polygamy is restricted in Goa and bigamy for men's are allowed, Hindu men's are allowed.
I would like to say that first of all, this is.
Now Team Diversity, your turn. Do you have any question for this question round?
I would like to ask a question for your team that how you will make people believe that UCC is fruitful for the nation. Like in a place like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, their literacy rate is very low. There are so much illiterate people. So do you think it will impact, or do you think people will believe in it?
Yes, I do believe that if the process would be transparent, people will believe it. The government, while drafting UCC, should keep in mind certain points. That they should take some good points from each religion so that each community doesn't feel that they are mentioned as inferior. And also, I believe that after the drafting of UCC, it should be made open to public, so that public could also see that what UCC is and could infer from it that yes, it is good for the nation.
But UCC is not yet come in our India, so how can you say...
Until we are only going to debate, it's not going to come. We need to take some certain steps towards its implementation. Likewise, in Uttarakhand, a law commission has been made to draft uniform civil code. So I believe similarly, India should also take steps to implement it.
Goa being a very small state, there is a uniform civil code. So why there is not a uniform civil code in UP?
I will again repeat my answer that in Goa there is Portuguese civil code. I am talking about the uniform civil code of India, which will be made by the people of India, not by the Portuguese.
But in UP also, it is a very large country, large state. So why there is not UCC till now?
Yes, there is not UCC because there are some people who oppose it, like of yours. They don't allow it to come in parliament. They don't allow it to get drafted. That is why it is not implemented.
See, a room is not built in a day. As the government didn't take a proper step to tell the people about the UCC. Is anyone in a locality know about the UCC?
Yes, I know about locality. I make people aware about locality.
Not you. The government should aware the people about UCC.
I believe that not everything is for government. As a nation, as a citizen of India, you do have some responsibilities towards nation. If government is not doing anything, you should make people aware. Like today, we are making people aware.
See, but what?
So it's a good discussion, but we have the time limits. Very good. And now the next question from
My question for you is, as you are opposing UCC, I think you have listened about the Sahabano case and there are so many cases like this. So are you waiting for some more cases like this so that UCC would be implemented in India? I think you don't have listened that precaution is better than cure. So I think UCC should be implemented before any cases now. Okay? As you guys are opposing UCC, I think you have heard about the case of Sahabano and there are so many cases like this. So don't you think that UCC should be implemented before any this type of case?
Okay, I can answer for that. First of all, tell me some more cases like Sahabano case.
Shaira Banu, Sarla Mutkal, and there are so many cases more. And it took almost, I think, the case of Sahabano was of 1985 and the triple talaq was removed in 2019. It took almost 34 years to amend the personal laws. So it will be better for all the people that UCC would be implemented.
You said that it took about 34 years. So, what government is doing?
We are not discussing about government here, we are talking about UCC.
You are saying that, na? The 34 years have been passed. So, what government is doing for that?
I will like to pass.
The basic reason why government not implemented UCC in past 50 decades after independence, the reason was India's instability, political instability, economic instability, and political instability, economic instability, lack of political will, and external as well as internal threats like war and Naxalite movements.
So do you think now it is stable?
Yes, now India.
How can you say that?
Because after 1999, India is not engaged in any war or war like such.
So, how can you say that now India is stable? I am asking that because she said that 34 years have passed and it's 34 years. So, how can you say that?
Perfection takes time.
No.
now Team Alliance and Team Diversity. Should we close this session? Do you have any questions? One more question from each team. Only one question. Team Diversity, if you want to question, please question. Yes.
As your team member, one of your team member was saying that we are interfering in the personal matters. Do you want to say that in the name of the personal in the name of interference in personal matters, we should let the women to be discriminated.
Okay, I will answer. So, tell me some fields in which women have been discriminated.
Like take the case of triple talaq and nikah halala in Muslims, and polygamy also in Hindus and other communities.
So, do you think that after implementation of UCC, this all will get managed?
Yeah, because UCC is comprised of all the good practices of all religions.
You can change the law, but can you change the mentality of the citizens? Because there are so many old citizens in our country which themselves thinks that women are not equal to women. But we think women are not equal to men. We think so that women and men are equal. But can you change the mindset of that people, those who are thinking that men are not equal?
I would like to pass to my team lead. In the 19th century, when sati was banned, people resisted it. But till now, when we come into 21st century, sati is banned almost completely. So, when you implement a new law, people will oppose you firstly. But with gradually, they will understand that it was for their betterment. So, I also believe that after the implementation of UCC, there would be certain section like you who will oppose it. But with time, people will gradually understand its true meaning and its true benefit.
You said that there is what you said that?
Initially?
Please repeat.
I said that initially when sati was banned in the Hindu system, it also took time. People opposed it. But now in the 21st century, there are no cases of practices like sati. So initially people oppose you. But with gradual time, they understand its true advantages and start supporting it.
I don't think so, because it took about 75 years. Means it was
Sorry, Angit, we don't have too much time because you are having your own time. Now the last question. Last question for team diversity. And all the group leaders will be ready for the conclusion for the third round after that.
As the opponent team asked that talaqe ibadat and nikah halala, about nikah halala, I have an article in my hand and it is written that there are some of the practices of the personal laws that might not find any place in the UCC, and it is written talaqe ibadat and nikah halala, which are the practices that won't find any place in the UCC. That was the answer I wanted to give. The question I want to ask to you is, if the Uniform Civil Code was good to be implemented, why hasn't it been implemented yet, as it has been going in the discussions? If the BJP had the slightest intentions of implementing UCC, it would have been implemented yet, because the work is halfway done. As Ambedkar wanted a single code, but Nehru divided it into the 4 laws. What do you think? What's your opinion?
First of all, we are not here to talk about political parties. And if you are saying that BJP had done it for the...
If we won't talk about political parties, then who will implement it?
Law commission will be made to implement.
But the petition would be made by the government.
But people can also make petition.
Most of the people are opposing it. Most of the people are
supporting it.
But the minorities are opposing it. Why there is a law also opposing it? Why there should be a law which is not considering the minorities? They are also living in the
fantastic performance. And yes, of course, your spirits are high, but we are under the limits of this time. So, the third.
If there's gonna be UCC, then how do we have reservations only for scheduled caste who are Hindus? We know that scheduled caste count Muslims too in it, and the minority communities are in it.
As you mentioned in your intro part, that civil laws include marriage laws, separation law, divorce law. But you are also aware about the fact that reservation is for education and job purposes. So there is no matter of talking about what will happen to them. That is a different perspective of society. That is a different matter.
But it will create an inter-community war between the people, because if you are talking about marriage, personal laws, and etc., you should also be talking about reservations, scheduled caste, ST, and everything, because they too come in the law.
Let me talk now. It is all about what you take from the society. There are positives and negatives. You all mentioned that there are people who are opposing it, but there are also people from minorities who are strongly supporting it. There is a community of All India Muslim Women Organization. I am mentioning them. You don't allow me to talk, and this is not a discussion. You are losing your point, that is why you are not allowing me to talk. I believe so. I am telling you some of the names who are supporting. All India Muslim Women Organization strongly supports the implementation of UCC. There are several tribal populations. Recently, the Chief Minister of Assam himself said that UCC should be implemented in India. There are different minorities who are supporting it, but you will only see those who are against it. Yes, I am saying that government will respect. Our discussion was about minorities. Now you are diverting from your type because you believe that I have kept my point.
You didn't. There is no divided family.
The audience will divide it.
Okay, let me, if I'm diverting it, let me just divert it more. There is a divided family tax rebate in the Goa, which has its UCC, but same is...
I again repeat, in Goa there is political civil code. Discussion.
You should let me complete the question first.
It is not uniform civil code of India.
Let me complete the question first.
I have put my point that it is not uniform civil code of India.
There is undivided family tax rebate in the Goa, which has its UCC, but same is...
Yes, I agree there are social elements in the political civil code. I agree that there are elements in the political civil code. But I do want to tell you again that it is not uniform civil code of India.
Whatever the result, who will win the race, we don't care. Okay, paisa vasool performance. It's an explosive performance, I would say. And now come to the third round and the final round. And judges will mention their numbers on the seat. So, from Team Alliance, I would like to call the team leader. Who is going to summarize? Yes, please.
Good morning everyone again. I am hopeful that you enjoyed this debate. I am also of the view that after having this discussion, I am now more confident of the fact that uniform civil code should be implemented in India. So not taking much time, I will quickly summarize some of the major points that were put on by me and my teammates. The first point which we has put on is empowerment of different sections of society. When there would be a uniform civil code for all, several sections of the society like women and other communities which are socially backward due to their old traditions will get empowered. Secondly, we talk about diversity of India, but what about the unity in diversity? We talk that there would be conflict. Aren't there conflict now? Aren't there Gujarat riots 2004? Aren't there conflicts now? I believe it is all about the political agenda. After the implementation of UCC, people will be more integrated and united with each other. The third point which my teammates had put was judicial burden. When the country had different law for different religion, judiciary also get burden because for different cases they have to refer different personal laws which are based on their inter-religious texture. So I believe with the implementation of UCC, there would be a common law for all and the process will become much smoother. The fourth point is inter-religious matter. There has always been conflicts whenever it comes to inter-religious matter. If you are going to amend religious law of each community, then what about the inter-religious matter? You need a common code for all so that inter-religious conflict would not arise. The fifth point is, we all talk about India becoming a truly developed nation. But I believe with respect to economic growth, India also need to grow socially. It need to eliminate all its social backwardness. I believe that with the implementation of UCC, the politicians will not get topic of Hindu and Muslim debate, and country will move toward to become a truly developed nation. At last I will say that we all say that India is secular, but what secularism is, that no one is discriminated when it comes to law. Everyone should be treated equally. I believe with the implementation of UCC, India will be truly secular. At last I will say that a law is valuable only when it does justice to the people. If it is not doing justice to its people, then it is not worth it. I strongly believe that Uniform Civil Code will do justice to the people, and hence I strongly support its implementation. Thank you everyone for listening.
Superb. Now from Team Diversity, it's the time for third round.
Okay, so after a lot of discussion, we are at the conclusion round of the debate. So now that time I was also opposing it, and till now I will also oppose it, because all that glitters is not gold. Government is only making us to government is only telling us the benefits of the UCC, but it doesn't tell the disadvantage that will cause to tribal communities and other minorities to the after implementation of the civil code. Implying such type of law in a large diversity country is just like a daydreaming. There is already a mindset of the minorities that if they are being demolished by there is already a mindset of the communities that they are being demolished by the majority. So why would the government want to increase that mindset of the people? Rather implying the law, such type of law, government should focus on the education system and the provision of liquor, which also comes under the DPSP. And the main motive of UCC bill is the national integration. But government is not thinking that it may lead to a condition of civil war. We know that Rome was not built in a day. So firstly, government should integrate the tribal communities who feel themselves isolated from the country. And let me give you an example. If a person from the north area goes to the east states of the India, they said to them that he is an Indian. They don't say that we are the Indian. They said he is an Indian because they feel them isolated from the country.
A very warm and beautiful good morning to one and all present over here. Today, I, Sania of Standard 11th A, standing here to put forward my opinion in the UCC that I had watched over here. Well, I think that many of you had get idea about the UCC, what actually it is. So, personally, I'm also in the favor of UCC because it has a motto that one nation with one law, which means that there should be equal personal laws for everyone in the nation. Personal laws means that the laws that deals with inheritance, adoption, marriage, and divorce. Lastly, I would like to conclude the things of Team Alliance that they had said as in point to implementation of UCC, and these are the case of Shah Banu, in which his husband had divorced her by the form of triple talaq, and later the lady appeals against it, and she got justice of it. And with this also, the triple talaq was banned. And the another case was, maybe you had heard the name of it, is that's hijab controversy. Now moving towards the other team, that is the team diversity, respecting their views also, I would lastly say that it is important that the implementation should be in proper time. That's all from my side. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Sania, for giving your precious views to us. So, next student from special audience, please come on the stage.
For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflicts, arguments and best debates. With this beautiful saying, a very warm and pleasant good morning to one and all present here. Respected Chairman Sir, Chief Guest, Honorable Juries, my dear fellows and all respectable teachers. I am Mir Tiwari from class 11th and today I am standing here to put my views in front of you about this debate. Now it is my pleasure to summarize the debate in detail. Take a look at what both sides have said and what the actual outcome of the detail is. So after listening many points of views in this enlightened discussion, we can conclude that the Uniform Civil Code basically means that all sections of the society, irrespective of their religion, shall be treated equally according to a national civil code which shall be applicable to all uniformly. And I personally believe that Uniform Civil Code aims to provide protection to vulnerable sections such as religious minorities and women's, and it also promotes nationalism feeling by the policy of one nation, one rule. And I also agreed by the point said by Team Alliance that we should have to change with the time, and if we have the cons for UCC, so the number of pros are also not less than this, and I don't think that the upcoming youth will get disagree by knowing that all of us are being treated equally. So at last I only want to say that these debates provide us vital information and great thinking ability about any particular topic. It's on us either to accept it or to lose the precious opportunity. Thank you for listening me very patiently. May you have a nice day.
Thank you, Mihir, for sharing your opinions. So now the next participant from the special audience, please come.
Good morning to everyone present here. This is Poonam of class 11B. Today I am here to share my views and points about UCC. As you all aware about UCC, Uniform Civil Code, means that all the sections of the society, irrespective of their religions, shall be treated equally according to a national civil code, which shall be applicable to all uniformly. It includes the Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Indian Christian Marriage Act, Indian Divorce Act, etc. It is based on the premise that there is no connection between law and religion in modern civilization. As stated by the Team Alliance, after implementation of UCC, there will be one law for all religions, and it also promotes gender equalities. Uniform Civil Code is defined in our Constitution under Article 44 of DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. It is stated that it is the duty of the state to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. In other words, we can say that one country, one rule. Its aim is to provide protection to vulnerable sections as envisaged by Ambedkar, including women and religious minorities, while also promoting to nationalistic favor through unity. Now, I want to conclude and say that citizens belonging to different religions and denominations follow different properties and matrimonial law, which is not only an affront to the nation's unity, but also makes one wonder whether we are a secular republic or a loose confederation of feudalism. Now, thank you for listening. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Poonam. So now I would like to call the next student. Please come.
Respected Chairman Sir, Chief Guest, our jury and teachers and all my dear friends, good morning to all of you. I am Nikhil Gupta from class 11th. So as per my opinion, I want to conclude today's debate. I am also in the favor of UCC. UCC is very beneficial in India. It provides one nation, one law. As in history, B.R. Ambedkar already provided the idea of UCC, but due to some reasons, it was not implemented. Also in Article 44, it is written, and now it is the correct time to implement it, as there are different communities and numerous family laws. As this time, there be no discrimination for any religion. These differences are also becoming trouble for the Indian judiciary system. UCC is not depleting religious practices, but UCC also promotes gender equality, simplification of laws, adhering to ideal of secularism, protection of vulnerable section of society. So at last, I conclude Uniform Civil Code must be implemented in our nation, India. So thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Nikhil. So the next participant, please come.
Good morning to all of you. I think you have gained a lot of vitamin D today. So I will make my conclusion as short as possible. So today we have a discussion about UCC. So firstly, what is UCC? UCC is one law for all nation. So firstly, I want to start with a line that anything which is difficult, it do not means that it is incorrect. This is similar to the condition of UCC. Implementing UCC is not easy, but it is good for us. Now we are talking that it is not a correct time for UCC, and everybody is saying that, but according to me, there is no correct time for doing anything. We have to make the time correct. Now about the cons and benefits of UCC. According to me, UCC is a great practice, but it has cons in it. So we will get about some cons. There was a case about the Meena community. In this case, the couple was married in Hindu practice, but they belongs to a tribal community. Therefore, the man was saying that we have married in Hindu rituals, but the woman is saying that we comes under tribal condition. So it was very difficult for judiciary to what to do in this case, and it takes very much time of the judiciary. For these conditions, I think UCC is important, and it takes very much time of judiciary and something related to this. And I would like to highlight a point said by my seniors, that precaution is better than cure. And a good point said that good things take time. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, beta. So now here is the next participant.
Good morning to all. My name is Kunal, standing in front of you to present my views on today's debate of Uniform Civil Code. First of all, the debate was fantastic as the communication was clear and confident. The delivery rate was excellent and all arguments were logical and convincing. First of all, in the early, my opinion, in India it is not feasible because of its diversity of religious and their respective practices. But after hearing the complete debate, my perception seems to tend in favor of UCC, as it will promote the fundamental rights of women across all religions. It will boost national integrity, quick decision making in personal cases, and it will promote equality. Keeping an eye on all cases, it seems beneficial. And at last, I would like to say that debate and discussion is a good way to change perception. Thank you.
Thank you, Kunal. So here the next participant. Please come and share your views.
Learning gives thinking. Thinking gives knowledge, and knowledge makes conclude that a secular India requires a unified civil code, but it is important to keep in mind that it must not be imposed to the policies that is resistant to change. The ultimate goal of the Uniform Civil Code is to ensure unity, national equality and integrity, as well as equality for both men and women. Some of the key points of the debates are protection to vulnerable section of society, gender justice. At last, I would like to say that all in all, in my opinion, Uniform Civil Code has more benefits rather than harm, and that's why it's perfectly said. How can a country be secular when its laws are not? I repeat, how can a country be secular when its laws are not? Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Priyansi, for sharing your views. So here is the next special audience.
A very good morning to one and all present over here. This is Palak Adhikari from class 11, standing here to share my views about today's topic. As we know, for better understanding, we need to talk about and have more discussions. So today's discussion was based on UCC. So what we know about UCC is one nation and one law. First of all, I would like to clear the difference between uniform and common. So what we mean by common is, common means one for all in all circumstances, and uniform means one for all in similar conditions. So I would like to add my points to the points presented by Tanuja Di, that there are people must be told about difference in religion and law. As we talk about paramparas and all, they are valid only till there is no violation of other gender. Also, most of the opposing team talked about minorities. They said that UCC will be imposing the Hindu laws on everyone. So I would like to ask, when it comes to votes of...
Thank you, Palak. So the next participant, please come.
How many of you are left?
Good morning to one and all present here. My name is Aarti Eddy and I am from class 11th A. So I am in the favor of UCC, and UCC means one nation, one law, and the implementation of UCC will also assure nation unity. The UCC will abolish polygamy and protect the right of women. See, I have an example that if a boy belongs to one state and a girl belongs to a tribe, then if the boy wants divorce, then what will they do? Because there is no rule for tribes that divorce after marriage. Thank you.
Thank you. So please, next participant.
A very pleasant morning to all present here. I'm Nisha from class 11B. So, as a debater do very well, I'm just in the favor of Team Alliance. The Team Alliance told very beautifully and expressed their views. They tell about the gender equality to reduce the burden and to promote the real secularism and equality. And what do you mean by the UCC? UCC, the Uniform Civil Code, India possesses to replace the personal law based on the scriptures and the custom of the personal law based on the scriptures and custom of each major religion community in the country with a common set of citizens. The law of
Thank you, Nisha. So now, please, next participant come to us.
Good morning, all of you. My name is Asta Joshi. Today I am standing here to give my opinion about this debate. So, as Team A had said, I will also like to aware about the UCC. So, right now, each one of us, based on our religion, have a different set of personal law. Hindus have separate marriage act, Hindu succession act, as same as Muslim and Christian have to have a different type of law. When I will say about UCC, Uniform Civil Code, each of us, irrespective of our religion, will have a single law applicable when it comes to marriage, adoption, maintenance or succession of property. So in the 21st century, there is a differentially deal to have UCC. Article 44 of the Indian Constitution.
Thank you, Asta. So now the next and the last participant is Karishma. Please come.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Karishma of class 11th Humanities. Today I am standing here to tell you on my views about this debate. UCC, Uniform Civil Code, is about the equal law before everyone's inheritance. Adoption, marriage, law before. Everyone is diverse, and I am in the favor of UCC because
Thank you, all the special audience. And please have a huge round clap for them also, as they have given their precise views about the debate, as they heard the debate very carefully. So now, this is the time for the announcement of result. So, before telling the name of the winning team, I would like to request our Honorable Chairman Sir, respected Chief Guest Sir, esteemed Principal Sir, respected Coordinator Ma'am and Manager Sir, please come on the stage to felicitate the winner team.
देना चाहूँगा श्रीमान पांडे जी को, जिन्होंने यहाँ पे इस बेहतरीन इस आयोजन के लिए मुझे आमंत्रित किया, और बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है यहाँ पर आकर, इस स्कूल में आकर, क्योंकि एक ऐसा स्कूल है इस क्षेत्र का जो यहाँ के बहुत पुराने स्कूल्स में से एक है। हमने बचपन से इस स्कूल को ऑब्जर्व किया है, देखा है, सीखा है, और अपने स्थापना से लेकर आज तक ये स्कूल ने अपनी डिग्निटी, अपनी मर्यादा, अपनी अचीवमेंट्स सब बरकरार रखी है। ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। एक शेर है कि बुलंदियों पे पहुंचना आसान नहीं, बुलंदियों पे पहुंचना आसान नहीं, बुलंदियों पर टिके रहना कमाल होता है। तो वो बात इस स्कूल के लिए एकदम फिट बैठती है। तो सबसे पहले मेरा प्रणाम है यहाँ के सारे टीचर्स को, जितने भी स्कूल का स्टाफ है। पांडे सर है, जिनको हम बचपन से देखते आए हैं, सीखते आए हैं, अपना आदर्श मानते आए हैं। उनके साथ उनकी जो पुरानी टीम है, उप्रेती सर है, मैम लोग हैं, आप सभी लोग बधाई के पात्र है, सराहना के पात्र है कि आपके पढ़ाए हुए बच्चे जिन्होंने आपको मार्गदर्शन किया है, वो इस देश की सर्वोच्च परीक्षा उत्तीर्ण कर चुके हैं और हर कॉम्पिटिशन्स में अपने बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन जारी रख रहे हैं। चाहे वो यूपीएससी हो, चाहे वो विभिन्न स्टेट्स के प्रोविंशियल सर्विसेज एग्ज़ाम हो, चाहे एसएससी के एग्ज़ाम हो, चाहे आर्मी हो, जितने भी डिफेंस के एग्ज़ाम हैं, सब में आपके स्टूडेंट्स का बहुत शानदार प्रदर्शन रहता है, जो इस क्षेत्र के लिए एक बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। और यही चीज़ इस शिक्षा भारती सीनियर सेकेंडरी स्कूल को इस क्षेत्र में, इस स्टेट में एक अलग मुकाम पर लाती है। और ये देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आज का दिन इस डिबेट के लिए चुना, क्योंकि आज अगर हम बोल रहे हैं एक दूसरे से हम वाद विवाद कर रहे हैं, अपनी बात को इतने अच्छे तरीके से व्यक्त कर रहे हैं, तो इन सब चीज़ों की आज़ादी कौन देता है हमें? हमारा संविधान। हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमें इन सारी चीज़ों की आज़ादी देता है कि हम इस देश में रह सके, अपनी बात कह सके, अपना विरोध दर्ज करा सके। तो इतना महत्वपूर्ण दिन है इस संविधान दिवस का, और ये संविधान दिवस 2015 में इसको भारत सरकार के द्वारा घोषित किया गया था, क्योंकि इसी दिन बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर की 125वीं सालगिरह मनाई जा रही थी। जैसे देश में इस समय अमृत महोत्सव मनाया जा रहा है आज़ादी की 75वीं वर्षगांठ होने पर, ठीक उसी प्रकार भीमराव अंबेडकर जी की 125वीं सालगिरह के अवसर पर संविधान दिवस को घोषित करने का, सेलिब्रेट करने का निर्णय लिया गया था। और ये संविधान कितना जरूरी है ये आप लोगों को पता है। हमारा संविधान भी इतना महत्वपूर्ण, ये एक दस्तावेज है जो हम सभी के घर में होना चाहिए। हम सभी को संविधान की जानकारी होनी चाहिए। इतनी महत्वपूर्ण चीज ये संविधान है जो हमको रहने की, हमको विचरण करने की, अपने धर्म का पालन करने की, हमको शिक्षा प्रदान करने की बात बताता है हमारे भारत का संविधान। और इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत लगी है, बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत लगी है। बहुत सारे देशों की अच्छी अच्छी संवैधानिक बातों को ग्रहण किया गया है, तब जाकर ये हमारे देश का संविधान बना है। और इस संविधान की जानते हैं सबसे खूबसूरत चीज़ क्या है? ये संविधान हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति को रिप्रेजेंट करता है। और हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति की खूबसूरती क्या है? इसमें फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, इसमें लचीलापन है, जो समय के साथ, वक्त के साथ, सिचुएशन के साथ अपने आप को एडॉप्ट कर सके, इसको चेंज कर सके, इसमें तब्दीली ला सके। इसीलिए इसमें कौन सी व्यवस्था है? संशोधन की, जिसको क्या बोलते हैं? अमेंडमेंट्स। अगर हमने अपने संविधान में अनुच्छेद देखे हैं तो हमने उसमें अमेंडमेंट्स भी देखे हैं। अगर हमको लगता है कि हमारे संविधान में कोई चीज, जैसे किसी बच्चे ने कहा कि ये चीज अगर इतनी जरूरी होती तो वो मौलिक अधिकार में आ जाती, वो नीति निदेशक यानी कि डायरेक्टर प्रिंसिपल में क्यों आई? ये बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट था। ठीक उसी प्रकार एक बच्ची ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि अगर हमारा संविधान अनुच्छेद आर्टिकल 25 के तहत हमको धार्मिक स्वतंत्रता का अधिकार देता है, और उस धार्मिक अधिकार में, स्वतंत्रता के अधिकार में हो सकता है कुछ ऐसे सिस्टम्स हो जिसमें वुमेन्स का, बच्चों का शोषण होता हो, उनकी आज़ादी पे फर्क पड़ता हो, तो क्या ये इस संविधान का वॉयलेशन नहीं है अनुच्छेद का, जो हमें किस आर्टिकल में दिया है? 14-15 में। तो बहुत सारे कॉन्ट्रडिक्शंस भी है। तो यही हमारे संविधान की उपलब्धि है कि हम इसमें वक्त के साथ साथ इसमें तब्दीली कर सकते हैं, अमेंडमेंट कर सकते हैं। और कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि कोई चीज़ हो रही होती है तो प्रोसेस जो होती है ना सीखने की, वो धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली आती है, एकदम से नहीं आती है। कई बार हमारी किसी से बहस होती है या डिबेट हो रही है, तो इसमें आपने रियलाइज किया होगा कि कई ऐसी बातें होंगी जो आपको अब याद आ रही होगी, कई ऐसे फैक्ट्स होंगे आपको अब याद आ रहे होंगे। आपको लग रहा होगा कि यार ये मेरे को पहले क्यों नहीं आए, ये फैक्ट्स, यार ये चीज़ हमारे दिमाग में पहले क्यों नहीं आई? तो हो सकता है ये चीज़ हमारे संविधान बनाने वालों के भी साथ आई होगी कि यार ये चीज़ हम पहले जोड़ सकते थे, या उसको उन्होंने महसूस किया होगा इसलिए उन्होंने उसको किस में जोड़ा? बाद में जोड़ा। तो ये चीजें हैं। उसके बाद बहुत अच्छा टॉपिक था समान नागरिक संहिता। ये डिबेट है, डिबेट को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? विवाद। और बहुत मुश्किल होता है कि विवाद का क्या हो? अंत हो। ये डिबेट एक ऐसी बहस होती है जो शायद ही जो है कभी सुलझ पाए, लेकिन इस पे डिस्कस करना बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि इसके दोनों पहलू निकल सकते हैं, पॉजिटिव भी और नेगेटिव भी। एक होता है शास्त्रार्थ, एक शास्त्रार्थ होता है, एक डिबेट होती है। शास्त्रार्थ में होता है कि एक पक्ष हार मान ले, उसके बाद एक सीमा ऐसी आए कि उसके पास कोई जवाब नहीं हो, लेकिन डिबेट में ना ये बहस चलते रहती है और यही खूबसूरती है। और इसी डिबेट को करने की भी आज़ादी हमको हमारा संविधान देता है। तो बहुत अच्छा स्वरूप था डिबेट का, और ये देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आप लोगों ने इतने कम समय में इतनी डीप स्टडी की है। ये अगर प्रोग्राम हमारे देश के मीडिया चैनल में बैठने वाले लोग अगर इसको देखें तो वो बहुत कुछ चीजें सीख सकते हैं कि हमको चीजों को, कि हमको अगर अपनी बातें रखनी है तो हमको उसको बहुत मर्यादित तरीके से रखनी है, लिमिटेशंस में रखनी है, डिग्निटी से रखनी है। हमको बात करनी है फैक्ट्स पे, हमें तथ्यों पे बात करनी है। इमोशंस में भी बात होती है लेकिन तथ्य बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी होते हैं, फैक्ट्स। अदालत में फैसले भी फैक्ट्स के आधार पर ही किए जाते हैं। ठीक, तो ये बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत तरीके से आपने डिबेट के इन पहलुओं को समझा और बहुत अच्छा मैसेज दिया। और बहुत अच्छा लगा देख के कि यहाँ के बच्चों को पता है कि शाहबानो केस क्या था, यहाँ के बच्चों को पता है कि सरला मुदगल बनाम स्टेट केस क्या था। डिबेट में पार्टिसिपेट करने वाले लोगों को ये जानकारी थी कि अगर समान नागरिक संहिता नहीं आती है तो महिलाओं के लिए, बच्चों के लिए कितना नुकसान हो सकता है। और अगर एक महिला का नुकसान होता है तो आप समझ लीजिए कि वो पूरे राष्ट्र का नुकसान होता है। एक महिला से नुकसान उसके बच्चों को होगा, उसके परिवार को होगा, परिवार से नुकसान उस समाज को होगा और समाज से नुकसान उस राष्ट्र को होगा। इसलिए महिलाओं के सम्मान की, उनके आदर की बात कही जाती है। और चाहे अंबेडकर जी हो, चाहे गांधी जी हो, स्वामी विवेकानंद हो, चाहे कोई कितने से बड़ा कितना नेता हो, उसने अपनी प्राथमिकताओं में हमेशा महिलाओं को रखा है, बच्चों को रखा है, गरीबों को रखा है, क्योंकि इनसे राष्ट्र निर्माण में इनकी एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका होती है। तो ये सारे केसेस आपको पता थे, ये देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा। गोवा में किस तरीके की प्रोसेस है वो आप लोगों को पता है, ये देख के अच्छा लगा। आप लोगों ने इस बिंदु पर बात करी कि मिजोरम में, असम में या जितने भी पूर्वोत्तर नॉर्थ ईस्ट के स्टेट्स है वहां पे क्या सिस्टम है, वहां को लोगों को क्या क्या छूट दे रखी है, ये देख के भी बहुत अच्छा लगा। और बहुत ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड चीज है। कई बार क्या होता है, जो हमारा सबसे पॉजिटिव पक्ष होता है वो भी कई बार नेगेटिव हो जाता है। बहुत बार कोई चीज अगर खूबसूरती है तो वो भी बहुत ज्यादा नुकसान दे देती है। ठीक, तो जो हमारे देश की खूबसूरती है ना, विविधता में एकता। इकबाल ने कहा कि सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हम बुलबुल है इसकी, ये गुलसिता हमारा। तो हमारा हिंदुस्तान एक गुलिस्तान की तरह, एक बगीचे की तरह, जिसमें बहुत अलग अलग रंग के फूल है, अलग अलग रंग के पेड़ है, अलग अलग पक्षी वहाँ पे आते हैं, उनकी रंग अलग है, उनकी खुशबू अलग है, उनका सौंदर्य अलग है, उनका रूप रंग अलग है, लेकिन उसके बाद भी वो एक साथ बहुत खूबसूरत लगते हैं। ठीक हमारे देश की भी हालत वैसी है। अलग अलग जाति के लोग हैं, संप्रदाय के लोग हैं, मजहब के लोग हैं, विचारधारा के लोग हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद भी हम सब यहाँ पे बहुत मोहब्बत से रहते हैं। इसका एक जीता जागता उदाहरण आपका खटीमा क्षेत्र है। इतने सालों से हम लोग खटीमा में रह रहे हैं, कितनी मोहब्बत से हम लोग यहाँ पे रहते हैं। हम समझते एक दूसरे की भावनाओं को, उनके त्योहारों का सम्मान करते हैं, मिलकर उनके त्योहार को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं। यही हमारे देश की खूबसूरती है। कुछ चीजें ऐसी है जो हर धर्म ने अपने हिसाब से डिसाइड की है, और ये धर्म की स्थापना बहुत पहले हुई है। जितने धार्मिक किताबें हैं ना, इनकी स्थापना आज नहीं हुई है, कई सदियों पहले हुई है। तो जो हो सकता है, जो आजकल चीजें प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है, वो उस समय उनको लगता हो कि प्रैक्टिकल हो, तो वो उस समय के हिसाब से लिखी गई है, और उन लिखी हुई चीजों पर आज हम डिबेट कर रहे हैं। तो धर्म की एक खास बात यही है कि धर्म और बेहतर तब हो सकता है जब वो वक्त के साथ अपने आप को चेंज करे, उसमें फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी लाए। जो प्रैक्टिकल चीज नहीं है, साइंटिफिक तरीके से, वैज्ञानिक तरीके से जो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है, चाहे वो कम उम्र में शादी होना हो, ठीक, बच्चे पैदा करना हो, या मंदिरों में जाने से लोगों को मना करने देना हो, चाहे वो किसी भी कैटेगरी के हो, महिलाएं हो, तो ये सारी चीजें जहां है वहां उसको सुधार करने की जरूरत है। क्या ऐसा नहीं हो सकता? एक तरीका ये भी हो सकता है ना, एक संस्कृत में एक बात है कि आत्मानी प्रतिकूलानी परेशान समाचरित, यानी कि जो व्यवहार हमें खुद अच्छा नहीं लगता है, हम दूसरे से उसकी उम्मीद ना करें। ठीक, तो हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं ना कि क्यों हम अभी अदालत चले जाए, या क्यों हम अभी संसद में चले जाए, इन काम को हम अपने तरीके से सुधारें। आप लोगों ने हिस्ट्री में पढ़ा होगा ना, सामाजिक धार्मिक सुधार आंदोलन, राजा राम मोहन राय सुना होगा, स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती सुना होगा, उनको मार्टिन लूथर किंग कहा जाता था। तो उस समय भी सोसाइटी में बहुत सारे एवल सिस्टम्स थे, कुप्रथाएं थी, तो उसके बहुत सारे तरीके लोगों ने अपनाए कि कैसे इनको दूर करें। तो सबसे पहले उन्होंने क्या किया, खुद में सुधार किया, खुद में सुधार किया। तो जो भी कम्युनिटी है जिसमें कुछ कंट्रोवर्शियल सिस्टम है, क्यों ना वो खुद अपने में सुधार करने की बात करे। समाज सुधारकों को साथ लेकर, पॉलिटिशियंस को साथ लेकर, लोगों को साथ लेकर, क्यों हम अपने वहीं से उन चीजों को जो है शुरू में ही हम उसको खत्म कर दें। अगर वो वहां से नहीं हो पा रही है, तब जाके हम जो है अदालत की शरण दें। तो कोशिश ये होनी चाहिए, कोई भी कम्युनिटी है, कि पहले अपने अंदर हम लोग सुधार कर ले। हमको लग रहा है कि हमारे धर्म में महिलाओं के लिए, बच्चों के लिए ये चीज सही नहीं है प्रैक्टिकली, सोशली, तो हमको इसको हटा देना चाहिए। अगर वहां पे नहीं हो पा रहा है तो हम उसके बाद जो उससे ऊपर के सिस्टम है, जहां से हमको न्याय मिलने की उम्मीद होती है, वहां जाए, हम अदालत का दरवाजा खटखटाएं। एक तरीका ये हो सकता है। दूसरा तरीका ये हो सकता है कि एजुकेशन, हमारे देश की हालत इस समय ये है कि हम लोग लोगों को लिटरेट तो कर पा रहे हैं, लेकिन एजुकेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। लिटरेट और एजुकेट में क्या है, बहुत बड़ा फर्क है। लिटरेट वो हो सकता है जो शब्द को पढ़ सकता है, लेकिन एजुकेट वो हो सकता है जो उस शब्द को समझ सकता है, उसमें क्या फीलिंग्स है उसको समझ सकता है। तो कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि कोई जगह बहुत साक्षर है, वहाँ के लोग बहुत लिटरेट है, लेकिन वो चीज़ों को समझ नहीं पाते, तो हमको उनको एजुकेट करना है। तो एजुकेशन बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। यहाँ पे जितने लोगों ने बोला, जितने लोगों ने सुना, ये सुनकर इसमें जो चीज़ें आपको अच्छी लग रही है, अगर आप लोगों को उसको एजुकेट करोगे तो वो चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा देगी। आप उसको घर में डिस्कस करोगे, वहाँ से वो और जगह डिस्कस होगी, तो इससे फ़ायदा मिलेगा। और इससे जो है जहाँ जहाँ कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आ रही है किसी चीज़ को लागू करने में, या किसी चीज़ को अगर हमको लागू नहीं करना है, वहाँ वो चीज़ें प्रैक्टिकली क्लियर हो सकती है कि अगर लागू करना है तो क्यों करें, लागू करना नहीं है तो क्यों ना करें, कहाँ इसमें प्रॉब्लम्स है। और एक चीज़ और करनी है, कोशिश करना है, अगर आप एक छात्र हो, स्टूडेंट हो, तो एक बैलेंस बनाइए अपनी पर्सनैलिटी में। बैलेंस बनाना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि बैलेंस नहीं बनाएंगे अपनी पर्सनैलिटी में तो जब आप आंसर लिखेंगे ना, आप बायस्ड होकर आंसर लिख देंगे और आपके नंबर कम आ सकते हैं। आपको लगेगा मैंने बहुत अच्छा लिखा, लेकिन नंबर कम आएंगे तो लगेगा आपको कहाँ दिक्कत हुई है। इसलिए कोई भी टॉपिक के दोनों पहलू हमको देखने हैं, नेगेटिव भी देखना है और पॉजिटिव भी देखना है। बहुत सारे अच्छे अच्छे पॉइंट्स निकल के आए इसके विरोध में, सपोर्ट में भी आए, लेकिन एक जगह ये देखना भी ज़रूरी है, एक पॉइंट थोड़ा सा छूटा है, वो ये है कि कई जो ये समान नागरिक संहिता है यूसीसी, तो इसको आप केवल धर्म के दृष्टिकोण से मत देखिए, इसको आप इकोनॉमिकली भी देखिए, आर्थिक रूप से भी देखिए। आर्थिक रूप से भी जो है कई जगह डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है, वो भी देखना है। उसके बाद एक पॉइंट और आना चाहिए था, वो था ऑनर किलिंग। ऑनर किलिंग एक टॉपिक छूटा है और सारे टॉपिक आए धीरे धीरे करके, ऑनर किलिंग टॉपिक छूट गया। ऑनर किलिंग में क्या होता है, खाप पंचायतें फैसला सुनाती है, मतलब 5 लोग बता देंगे कि इन दोनों लड़के लड़कियों को पेड़ से लटकाकर मार दिया जाए। क्या ये प्रैक्टिकल है? नहीं है। तो यहाँ पे हमको लगता है कि शायद एक ऐसा सिस्टम आए जो इसका भी जो फैसला है कौन करे, अदालत करे। इस चीज़ को भी देखना ज़रूरी है। तो एक पॉइंट्स थोड़ा सा मिस था, लेकिन और बहुत सारे अच्छे अच्छे पॉइंट्स आप लोगों ने बोले हैं। यहाँ जितने बच्चे बैठे हैं आप सब भी बहुत ज़्यादा बधाई के, सराहना के पात्र हैं। इस तेज धूप में बैठे हैं आप लोग। और एक चीज़ का हमेशा ध्यान रखना कि आप लोगों के होने से ही, आप लोग के सुनने से ही जो आगे लोग बोल रहे हैं ना, उनकी अहमियत है। मैडम ने भी कहा जो अच्छा बोलता है उसके लिए एक अच्छा श्रोता होना, लिसनर होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। और एक श्लोक है संस्कृत का, यह पठति लिखति पश्यति परिप्रच्छति पंडितानाम उपाश्रति तस्य दिवाकर किरणे नलिनी दल एव विस्तारिता बुद्धि। यानी कि जो पढ़ता है, जो लिखता है, जो देखता है, जो प्रश्न पूछता है और विद्वानों के साथ रहता है, उसकी बुद्धि का ठीक वैसे ही विस्तार होता है जैसे सूर्य की किरणों से कमल की पंखुड़ियां फैलती है। तो आप सब लोग उसी कमल की पंखुड़ियों की तरह है और ये सूरज की किरणें आपकी जो है बुद्धि में, आपके ज्ञान में निश्चित रूप से विस्तार लाएगी। तो बहुत अच्छा लगा आप लोगों की डिबेट सुन के, और बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है जब इतने सारे एक से एक फैक्ट्स आ रहे हैं और हमको सीखने को मिल रहा है। और हम जब ये देखते हैं तो हम ये कंपैरिजन करते हैं कि चाय की दुकानों पे, नुक्कड़ में, घर परिवारों में जो टीवी चल रहा है या जो लोग बहस कर रहे हैं, उनकी बहस का स्तर क्या है और यहाँ की बहस का स्तर क्या है। तो ये चीज़ हमको सीखनी है। ये चीज़ मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस कहीं और शेयर करूँगा, वो कहीं और करेंगे, तब पता चलेगा लोगों को कि इस तरीके से भी इस तरीके के प्रोग्राम्स हो सकते हैं। ठीक, तो एक चीज़ और मैं कहना चाहूँगा, आप लोग शायद 12th के बच्चे हैं। बहुत अच्छी बात है कि कुछ मुश्किल समय के बाद आप लोगों ने फिर कमबैक किया है। कोरोना टाइम्स के बाद बहुत सारी चीज़ें चैलेंजिंग थी। बहुत सबसे ज़्यादा चैलेंजिंग था कि हमको गूगल मिल गया, हमको इंटरनेट मिल गया, मोबाइल मिल गया, लेकिन हमको एक टीचर का जो सामने बैठ के मार्गदर्शन होता है वो थोड़ा सा उसमें हम लोग थोड़े से बदकिस्मत रहे, वो साथ हमको नहीं मिल पाया। तो अब आपको टीचर्स का अपने साथ मिला है। टीचर के मार्गदर्शन को, उसके गाइडेंस को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से सुनिए, समझिए, बहुत ज़्यादा वो ज़रूरी काम आएगा। और वो चीज़ मोबाइल से, इंटरनेट से बहुत ज़्यादा अलग होती है। तो अपने टीचर का मार्गदर्शन लीजिए। इतने साल आपने इस स्कूल में पढ़ा है, तो उन पूरे साल को ईमानदारी से जो है अपने इस आखिरी साल में झोंक दीजिए, पूरी मेहनत कीजिए अपने लिए, अपनी फैमिली के लिए, अपने स्कूल्स के लिए बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन करने की कोशिश करें, सीखने की कोशिश करें। ठीक, और बहुत अच्छा आप लोग का भविष्य है। कुछ ही चीज़ें देखकर हम ये अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि आप लोग वाकई में बहुत आगे जाएंगे। जिस तरीके से आपने फैक्ट कलेक्ट किए, इतने कम समय में अपनी बातें रखी, पॉइंट्स रखे, इतने सारे लोगों को फेस किया, तो इससे आप लोगों की एक पर्सनैलिटी अच्छे से पता चल रही है कि आप लोगों में कितना कैलिबर है। ठीक, उसके बाद जैसे इस तरीके के मुद्दे हैं, जो भी ऐसे मुद्दे हैं, ये मुद्दे वही सब मुद्दे होते हैं, टॉपिक वही चीज़ें होती है जो अक्सर हमारे चर्चाओं के केंद्र में होती है, जिसको हम सोशल मीडिया में देख रहे हैं, न्यूज़ चैनल्स में देख रहे हैं, कहीं भी देख रहे हैं। तो जब भी इस तरीके के टॉपिक आपकी आंखों से गुजरे ना, एक बार उसके बारे में पढ़ जरूर लेना। आप लोग घर जाके आप जरूर पढ़ना सरला मुदगर का केस क्या था 1995 का, किस तरीके से वह बहुविवाह से जुड़ा है। आप लोग देखना कि शाहबानो का केस क्या था, कि वो किस तरीके से जो है तलाक से जुड़ा हुआ है। आप देखना कि उस केस के कारण कौन सी गवर्नमेंट गिर गई, ये भी आप उसमें देखना। आप देखना कि उस फैसले को सुनाने वाले जज कौन थे, कौन वो जज थे, उनका क्या नाम था। हो सकता है आप में से बहुत सारे लोग लॉ के फील्ड में जाए, लॉ की पढ़ाई करे, कोई हो सकता है कि सिविल सर्विसेज की ओर अपना रुख करे, तो वहाँ सब ये चीज़ें आएंगी। अपने संविधान को पढ़िए, ये सब चीज़ें कहीं ना कहीं आपको आएंगी, आपको आनी चाहिए। एक जिम्मेदार नागरिक होने के नाते आप कितने भी अच्छी पोस्ट पे जाए, कितने भी बड़े पद पे जाए, वो अपनी एक बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन उससे अच्छी बात है कि आप अपने देश के कितने रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन हैं। उसके लिए आपको अपने संविधान के बारे में जानकारी ज़रूर होनी चाहिए। बहुत महत्वपूर्ण किताब है संविधान, एक ग्रंथ है, वो ज़रूर होना चाहिए। उसको पढ़िए सारी चीज़ें, और जितने भी ये मुद्दे हैं इसको पढ़िए। न्यूज़पेपर पढ़िए, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने का टाइम नहीं है तो वीकली मैगजीन पढ़िए, वीकली मैगजीन पढ़ने का टाइम नहीं है तो मंथली मैगजीन ज़रूर पढ़िए। अपने पे विश्वास रखिए, अपने टीचर ने जो आपको शिक्षा दी है उस पर विश्वास रखिए। और बहुत इस समय तो इतनी सारी चीज़ें, इतने सारे मोटिवेशनल चीज़ें आप लोग देखते ही ऑलरेडी, वो सब ज़्यादा कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। बस उसको आप जो है प्रैक्टिकल में लाइए, केवल सुनिए मत, उसको आप उस पर अमल करिए, तो वो चीज़ आपके बहुत काम आएगी। और शायद कल के दिन हो सकता है कि कोई आपको अपनी कहानी सुना रहा हो, कहीं से आपको अपनी कहानी सुनने को मिल रही है, आपकी कामयाबी की दास्तान कोई सुना रहा है, तब आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। और बहुत बहुत थैंक यू सर, आपने जो यहाँ पर बुलाया, जिन्होंने भी टॉपिक को डिसाइड किया, इस प्रोग्राम को कोऑर्डिनेट किया, इस प्रोग्राम को करने में अपनी भूमिका निभाई, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप लोग बहुत बधाई के पात्र है, प्रशंसा के पात्र है। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring thoughts. Please have a huge round of clap again. So now I would like to call all the dignitaries to come on the stage to felicitate the students. Please, all the dignitaries and our jury members come.
डिबेट की पावन मेला पर जो हमारे बीच विशेष अतिथि डॉक्टर श्याम जोशी, प्रोफेसर डिग्री कॉलेज, इन्होंने यहाँ आकर के हमारे इस समारोह को काफ़ी गौरवान्वित किया है। हम उनके बहुत उनका आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। धूप भी थी और समय भी बहुत लंबा था, इसके बावजूद उन्होंने काफ़ी समय से बड़े धैर्य के साथ सभी को एक एक को बारीकी से सुना है और हम सभी को अनुग्रहित किया है। उसके लिए हम सभी उनके आभारी हैं। बच्चों, इस कार्यक्रम को करने में बहुत मेहनत लगी है उन बच्चों की भी जिन्होंने इसके लिए तैयारी की है, डिबेट में पार्टिसिपेट करने की, और बहुत अच्छा पार्टिसिपेशन रहा है, बहुत अच्छा इन्होंने अध्ययन किया है, तैयारी की है, और इसके बाद यहाँ पर प्रेजेंटेशन भी इनका बहुत ही सुंदर रहा है। कई बार ऐसा होता है कि पक्ष में बोलना बहुत आसान होता है, नॉर्मली जो है ऑडियंस भी और जो वक्ता है भी जो है वो भी, और वो बच्चे भी जो है जिन्होंने जो पहले यहाँ अध्ययनरत थे और बहुत अच्छे उन्होंने उपलब्धियाँ जीवन में की हैं, बड़े अच्छे ऊंचे पदों पर गए हैं वो भी, और जो अभी अध्ययनरत हैं वो सभी वो सभी जो है प्रशंसा के पात्र हैं और उनको भी मैं बधाई देता हूँ कि एक इसकी गरिमा को बनाए रखा है। और सबसे बड़ा जैसे कि जो है हमारे जो आज के विशेष अतिथि डॉक्टर प्रशांत जोशी सर हैं, उन्होंने आप लोगों को बताया कि जो है बुलंदियों पर पहुँचना तो कठिन है, लेकिन उसको बरकरार रखना उससे भी कठिन कार्य है। तो वैसे भी कहते हैं कि लाइफ में एक जो है उत्कर्ष के बाद एक प्लेट्यू आता है, पठार आता है। उस पठार के बाद फिर आपका चयन होता है, आपकी मेहनत होती है, आपका विवेक है कि आप उस प्लेट्यू के बाद आप उसको अपने को ऊपर रेस करते हैं या वहाँ से डाउन में जाते हैं। और ये प्लेट्यू बहुत बार बनते हैं लाइफ में। तो आप लोगों ने इसको अब तक बरकरार रखा है। जितने लोगों का भी इसमें सहयोग रहा है बरकरार रखने में, उन सभी की मैं प्रशंसा करता हूं और उनका आभार भी है इस विद्यालय का के प्रति जो है मैं उनका आभारी हूं कि इस संस्था को बनाए रखने में, इसकी गरिमा को बनाए रखने में उन लोगों ने बहुत बड़ा सहयोग दिया है। क्योंकि बिना शिक्षकों के मार्गदर्शन के, उनके पूर्ण सहयोग के कुछ भी संभव नहीं है। आप कई बच्चे अभी जो है मैं प्रश्न से थोड़ा सा हटके एक लाइन, ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा, टाइम नहीं लूँगा, आप लोग बैठे बैठे भी परेशान हो गए, मैं जानता हूँ। जिस जगह आप बैठे हैं कभी वहाँ हम भी बैठा करते थे और हमें आपकी परेशानी का पूरा पता है। तो कहीं पर भी पहुँचने के लिए बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, बहुत ज़्यादा जो है। और किसी ने मुझसे कहा कि कोचिंग वाले भी बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं, तो विद्यालय से भी अच्छी पढ़ाई कई बार कोचिंग में होती है। मैंने उनसे इतना ही कहा कि कोचिंग आपको नॉलेज तो दे देगा किसी कुछ 2-3 विषयों में जो है, और वो दे देगा आपको, वो नॉलेज दे देगा जिससे आप अच्छी नौकरी पा जाएंगे। लेकिन वो इमोशंस जो है आप प्रोफेशनल चीज़ें तो वहाँ से पालेंगे, लाइफ में प्रोफेशनल स्किल अपनी डेवलप कर लेंगे, लेकिन वो इमोशंस को कहाँ से डेवलप करेंगे जो टीचर्स के साथ रह करके आपके डेवलप होते हैं। समाज में रहने के लिए हमें ये इक्वली जो है प्रोफेशनल और इमोशनल दोनों ही होना पड़ता है। इमोशनल का मतलब मेरा ये नहीं कि इसके हम गलत अर्थ भी लगा लेते हैं। जैसे संविधान की बात आई थी, उसमें डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स जो उसमें दिए हुए हैं, उसी को हम यहाँ पर दूसरे शब्दों में कहते हैं सोशल वैल्यू, या कि सामाजिक मूल्य। सामाजिक मूल्य में माँ बाप की सेवा करना भी एक है उसके अंदर जो है, और वो नैतिक कर्तव्यों में भी आपके है। कानूनी कर्तव्य नहीं, कर्तव्य भी 2 प्रकार के होते हैं। एक कानूनी होता है जिसको आपको मानने को बाध्य होना पड़ता है। जैसे बाईं तरफ अगर आप चल रहे हैं सो रोड में, तो बाईं तरफ आपको चलना चाहिए, ये लीगल प्रोविजन है। लेकिन दूसरा जो है नैतिक क्या है, आपको माँ बाप की बात माननी चाहिए, सेवा करनी चाहिए, और ये चीज़ें जो है इस विद्यालय में टीचर्स को जो है उनकी बात माननी चाहिए, आज्ञा का पालन करना चाहिए, सम्मान करना चाहिए। तो ये चीज़ें हैं, तो ये सब चीज़ें आप जो है विद्यालय में ही सीख सकते हैं, टीचर्स के सानिध्य में ही सीख सकते हैं। इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा न कह करके आप लोगों से इतना ही कहूँगा कि टीचर्स का आप लोग सम्मान करें, जो लोग आपको बुलंदियों पर पहुँचाते हैं। कोई ये कहे कि जो है, मैं मानता हूँ कि मेहनत सबकी अपनी अपनी है, लेकिन मेहनत के साथ जो है जो मार्गदर्शन करता है वो बहुत बड़ा है, उसकी महत्ता को हम कम नहीं कर सकते हैं। और वो टीचर्स हैं, आपके घर में आपके माता पिता हैं, और आपके और कोई भी जो है, वो संस्कृत का एक वो कोटेशन है कि बरानुबोध्यत, यानी श्रेष्ठ जनों का साथ करें आप लोग जो है। ये क्यों कहा गया है कि हमेशा संगत अच्छे लोगों की करें, अपने से महान लोगों की करें, तो जिससे आप कुछ सीख सकें। तो उस श्रेणी में आपके यहाँ पर टीचर्स आते हैं, इसलिए मैं जो है यही कहूँगा इस अवसर पर कि आप टीचर्स की बातों को माना कीजिए, ध्यान से सुना कीजिए, और अपने जीवन को जो है उत्कर्ष की ओर जो है ले जाइए, ताकि आप डिबेट की पावन मेला पर जो हमारे बीच विशेष अतिथि डॉक्टर प्रशांत जोशी, प्रोफेसर डिग्री कॉलेज, इन्होंने यहाँ आकर के हमारे इस समारोह को काफ़ी गौरवान्वित किया है। हम उनके बहुत उनका आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। धूप भी थी और समय भी बहुत लंबा था, इसके बावजूद उन्होंने काफ़ी समय से बड़े धैर्य के साथ सभी को एक एक को बारीकी से सुना है और हम सभी को अनुग्रहित किया है। उसके लिए हम सभी उनके आभारी हैं। बच्चों, इस कार्यक्रम को करने में बहुत मेहनत लगी है उन बच्चों की भी जिन्होंने इसके लिए तैयारी की है डिबेट में पार्टिसिपेट करने की, और बहुत अच्छा पार्टिसिपेशन रहा है, बहुत अच्छा इन्होंने अध्ययन किया है, तैयारी की है, और इसके बाद यहाँ पर प्रेजेंटेशन भी इनका बहुत ही सुंदर रहा है। कई बार ऐसा होता है कि पक्ष में बोलना बहुत आसान होता है, नॉर्मली जो है ऑडियंस भी और जो वक्ता हैं वो जो है पक्ष के ही पक्षधर होते हैं, और अगेंस्ट बोलना थोड़ा सा विरोध में बोलना कठिन होता है। चले गए वो भी जो है, और वो बच्चे भी जो है जिन्होंने जो पहले यहाँ अध्ययनरत थे और बहुत अच्छे उन्होंने उपलब्धियाँ जीवन में की हैं, बड़े अच्छे ऊंचे पदों पर गए हैं वो भी, और जो अभी अध्ययनरत हैं वो सभी जो है प्रशंसा के पात्र हैं, और उनको भी मैं बधाई देता हूँ कि एक इसकी गरिमा को बनाए रखा है। और सबसे बड़ा जैसे कि जो है हमारे जो आज के विशेष अतिथि डॉक्टर प्रशांत जोशी सर हैं, उन्होंने आप लोगों को बताया कि जो है बुलंदियों पर पहुंचना तो कठिन है, लेकिन उसको बरकरार रखना उससे भी कठिन कार्य है। तो वैसे भी कहते हैं कि लाइफ में एक जो है उत्कर्ष के बाद एक प्लेट्यू आता है, पठार आता है, उस पठार के बाद फिर आपका चयन होता है, आपकी मेहनत होती है, आपका विवेक है कि आप उस प्लेट्यू के बाद आप उसको अपने को ऊपर रेस करते हैं या वहाँ से डाउन में जाते हैं, और ये प्लेट्यू बहुत बार बनते हैं लाइफ में। तो आप लोगों ने इसको अब तक बरकरार रखा है, जितने लोगों का भी इसमें सहयोग रहा है बरकरार रखने में, उन सभी की मैं प्रशंसा करता हूं, और उनका आभार भी है इस विद्यालय का के प्रति जो है मैं उनका आभारी हूं कि इस संस्था को बनाए रखने में, इसकी गरिमा को बनाए रखने में उन लोगों ने बहुत बड़ा सहयोग दिया है, क्योंकि बिना शिक्षकों के मार्गदर्शन के, उनके पूर्ण सहयोग के कुछ भी संभव नहीं है। आप कई बच्चे अभी जो है मैं प्रसंग से थोड़ा सा हटके एक लाइन, ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा, टाइम नहीं लूँगा, आप लोग बैठे बैठे भी परेशान हो गए, मैं जानता हूँ। जिस जगह आप बैठे हैं कभी वहाँ हम भी बैठा करते थे, और हमें आपकी परेशानी का पूरा पता है। तो कहीं पर भी पहुँचने के लिए बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, बहुत ज़्यादा जो है। और किसी ने मुझसे कहा कि कोचिंग वाले भी बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं, तो विद्यालय से भी अच्छी पढ़ाई कई बार कोचिंग में होती है। मैंने उनसे इतना ही कहा कि कोचिंग आपको नॉलेज तो दे देगा कुछ 2-3 विषयों में जो है, और वो दे देगा आपको, वो नॉलेज दे देगा जिससे आप अच्छी नौकरी पा जाएंगे, लेकिन वो इमोशंस जो है आप प्रोफेशनल चीज़ें तो वहाँ से पालेंगे, लाइफ में प्रोफेशनल स्किल अपनी डेवलप कर लेंगे, लेकिन वो इमोशंस को कहाँ से डेवलप करेंगे जो टीचर्स के साथ रह करके आपके डेवलप होते हैं। समाज में रहने के लिए हमें ये इक्वली जो है प्रोफेशनल और इमोशनल दोनों ही होना पड़ता है। इमोशनल का मतलब मेरा ये नहीं कि इसके हम गलत अर्थ भी लगा लेते हैं, जैसे संविधान की बात आई थी, उसमें डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स जो उसमें दिए हुए हैं, उसी को हम यहाँ पर दूसरे शब्दों में कहते हैं सोशल वैल्यू, जहाँ की सामाजिक मूल्य। सामाजिक मूल्य में माँ बाप की सेवा करना भी एक है उसके अंदर जो है, और वो नैतिक कर्तव्यों में भी आपके है। कानूनी कर्तव्य नहीं, कर्तव्य भी 2 प्रकार के होते हैं। एक कानूनी होता है जिसको आपको मानने को बाध्य होना पड़ता है, जैसे बाईं तरफ अगर आप चल रहे हैं रोड में तो बाईं तरफ आपको चलना चाहिए, ये लीगल प्रोविजन है। लेकिन दूसरा जो है नैतिक क्या है, आपको माँ बाप की बात माननी चाहिए, सेवा करनी चाहिए, और ये चीज़ें जो है इस विद्यालय में टीचर्स को जो है उनकी बात माननी चाहिए, आज्ञा का पालन करना चाहिए, सम्मान करना चाहिए। तो ये चीज़ें हैं, तो ये सब चीज़ें आप जो है विद्यालय में ही सीख सकते हैं, टीचर्स के सानिध्य में ही सीख सकते हैं। इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा न कर करके आप लोगों से इतना ही कहूँगा कि टीचर्स का आप लोग सम्मान करें, जो लोग आपको बुलंदियों पर पहुँचाते हैं। कोई ये कहे कि जो है मैं मानता हूँ कि मेहनत सबकी अपनी अपनी है, लेकिन मेहनत के साथ जो है जो मार्गदर्शन करता है वो बहुत बड़ा है, उसकी महत्ता को हम कम नहीं कर सकते हैं। और वो टीचर्स हैं, आपके घर में आपके माता पिता हैं, और आपके और कोई भी जो है वो संस्कृत का एक वो कोटेशन है कि बरानुबोधत, यानी श्रेष्ठ जनों का साथ करें आप लोग जो है। ये क्यों कहा गया है कि हमेशा संगत अच्छे लोगों की करें, अपने से महान लोगों की करें, तो जिससे आप कुछ सीख सकें। तो उस श्रेणी में आपके यहाँ पर टीचर्स आते हैं। इसलिए मैं जो है यही कहूँगा इस अवसर पर कि आप टीचर्स की बातों को माना कीजिए, ध्यान से सुना कीजिए और अपने जीवन को जो है उत्कर्ष की ओर जो है ले जाइए, ताकि आपके जीवन में उल्लास और उमंग, खुशियाँ और खुशहाली सब कुछ बनी रहे और आए। इसी के साथ जो है मैं अपने शब्दों को समाप्त करता हूँ। आप लोगों ने धैर्य से सुना, इसके लिए आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।